watching Poland Daily Business, and we will start from the veto. Poland and Hungary vetoed the 7 years budget of the European Union, 2021-2028, vetoed the reconstruction fund, 750 billion, that European Union was about to lend in the or borrow in the financial markets to reconstruct its economy after the coronavirus crisis. And most importantly, Poland and Hungary vetoed the correlation of the budget with the rule of law principle. It turns out that European Commission, European Parliament wanted to assess whether any particular country is okay with the rule of law, and if so, pay the money. If not, with no given principles, with no given guidelines, the money would be suspended or withdrawn. Professor Zbigniew Krysiak, Warsaw School of Economics and Institute of Schumann-Stott, is very carefully monitoring the European Union. And please tell me, this was the German presidency idea. It actually started 2 years ago with Mr. Timmermans' office when he was a chief of European Parliament. Now it came to the German presidency that wanted to impose this rule of law principle in accordance to the European funds assigned to countries. That was, if proceeded okay, a tidal shift in the works of European Union.
We can just shortly say that precisely, the aim was not strictly rule of law. The aim was just impose the certain ideology which is just contradictory to that what Europe is. And I would like to remind that, the European Union is basically the organization. This is not something which is not as any state. Of course, supported by Germany and France, the European Union is, aiming to become a superstate. And this is contradictory to the basically idea to establish the European Union. Again, I am repeating, this is the organization which main goal is basically to be focused on the efficiency of the economy. And we currently observe, since basically 2 decades, that the European Union countries are basically getting lower efficiency in the economy. So the economy of the Europe, facing or compared to the economy in Asia or United States, is just going down and down. And it's not any more competitive. And these guys, the Germany now, and as well, France, instead of being focused on how to make the European econoy improve.
Great again.
Great again, exactly, great again, as it was basically 3 or 4 decades before, but they, just focus on the ideology. So again, just stating that as a rule of law, of course, we like that law is, respected. For instance, in Poland, in any East European countries, generally speaking, the law is respected. But we can find, the many cases where, for instance, in France or Norway or Sweden, the law is not respected. For instance, families are persecuted. Families are being, moving on the edge of the basically important social models.
Sir, let us see, because the European Union, as you mentioned, is an organization based on treaties that were ratified by all member states. Was this proposition of tying the European money with rule of law principle is this in accordance to the treaties?
It is against. It is against, because in the treaties you not find, any point where it is stated that, the law is some condition, to distribute the budget. So as I am saying, the main goal is the economic basis of that organization, as is the European Union. So any trials, to impose, to inject in that conditions to the control and decide about the budget is basically contradictory. So this proves that these guys from Germany are trying through the ideological ideological way, trying, to basically distract. Basically trying to bring to the bankruptcy of the idea of the Community of European Nations, according to the idea of Robert Schuman. So this is obvious, and we see that how the ideology, like in Soviet Union, right? They promise, the good wealth, they promised, very good economy, equality, but finally, ideology brought that country to the bankruptcy.
Yeah, and the Soviet Union
we will
promised...
follow this way, so the bankruptcy of the European Union we can face very soon.
The Soviet Union promised its citizens to free them, and they actually free them of their property. And the question is, what will European Union do, in which way it will proceed? But we'll talk about that later on. Professor Zbigniew Krysiak from Warsaw School of Economics, Serbia. Thank you very much for this conversation. That was it for Poland Daily Business tonight. Tomorrow, same time, tune in for more news and comments.